Okay, TMI, 2-minute intake. We've got to get the concept of the disciple dilemma across in just a few slides. We've been in front of a lot of people. They've given us a lot of feedback. I hope this makes sense for you as we talk through it. Let's take a look at this problem. When you bump into the idea of the disciple dilemma, there's a lot of moving parts. We've broken it down into two components, and we use the iceberg illustration. There's the tip of the iceberg, where we see a large mass. It's impressive, it's obvious, it's all in front of us to be seen. Those are symptoms. When we think about the symptoms, we think, well, there's what's going on. That's the issue. There's the problem. But in fact, it's just a set of symptoms. It's a little bit like blowing your nose when you have a cold. You can try to attack the symptoms by blowing your nose, but you don't cure the cause, the cold. So this is about the symptoms that we see. And a lot of research has been done in the area of discipleship. We come up with a lot of interesting statistics. And they tell us that discipleship in Western Christianity is suffering from many people walking out the door, many people who are on mute, they don't want to talk about their faith, many people who don't think they know how to talk about their faith, many people who aren't even sure that there is a faith or that Christ is who he says he is, and a lot of people who simply don't do anything to build up their faith. It's a significant amount of trouble churning at the level of symptoms. But the disciple dilemma only spends one chapter on that, and it spends 6 chapters on what's going on underneath the observable line, or in other words, the bigger mass of the iceberg below the waterline. And those are the causes. And that's where the disciple dilemma looks at leadership and says leadership has to turn to the causes, attack the causes if we're going to get to the symptoms. What are those causes? Well, like we said, 6 chapters. Each of the 6 things you see on the screen are a chapter in themselves, talking about how the dynamic has been around since the 3rd century in Christian history, inflaming or eroding discipleship so that we find ourselves with a weakened and brittle discipleship. And it's so normal that it's hiding in plain sight. These 6 things are out there amongst us and we think they're good and normal, but they're not good and they're not normal and they're not biblical. That's our problem. It would be a lot of help to us if you would subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can search for us on YouTube at The Disciple Dilemma. And if you'd follow us on Facebook and on Instagram at thediscipledilemma.com. Thanks for joining us on TMI. Bid our anxious fear, all our anxious fear, goodbye. Bid our anxious fear, all our anxious fear, goodbye.